All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 9th episode of the Who Asked podcast. Notice we're still in the same area. We're going to run two of these back-to-back this time with another powerlifter on. All right. Can't say he's a good friend. I don't know him that well yet, but I'm glad to meet him.
We're about to get
Sean Mills, a.k.a. Wheeze.
Appreciate you having me.
Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
it,
Appreciate you showing out, man. Appreciate you showing out on such short notice as well.
Of course.
So you wear a lot of hats. Like, it's safe to say you wear a lot of hats. You know, you're an athlete. You do a lot of clothing brand stuff with the Better brand, obviously. And then recently you started making your own line of performance gear with Stiff Sleeve Co. Got those out on the table for you guys. So, like, how's it like, juggling all that? And then social media on top of that as well, which is a whole nother thing. It's hard to be an athlete and do the social media with it. So, like, what's it like, juggling all that, man?
Well, when it comes to juggling everything, I don't know. I mean, to me, I don't know if it sounds bad, but it's just kind of like natural to me.
Okay.
In the sense where, I mean, I've always kind of like just done a bunch of different things in my entire life pertaining to different interests or hobbies or just anything really, kind of whatever I wanted to do. I never really stopped what I was currently doing, or I never really let what I was currently doing stop or interfere with anything that I wanted to do. You know what I mean? So that's why, I mean, I don't know. I have, like, a lot of people just know me as a power lifter. But they don't necessarily know that I take interest in, like, all these other things. Like, I like so many different kinds of music. I like fashion. I like just art in general. I like building things up from the ground up. Yeah. And just kind of like seeing where I can take things. You know what I mean? Because, like, I kind of view it as like a challenge to myself as to, like, why not? Why not try to do this?
Yeah.
Are you capable of doing something like, where can I take this? Something like that.
Yeah. Like,
absolutely.
I have a lot of goals for 2024. Now that, like, I have a bit more time to put towards my own ventures and my own interests.
Yeah, I seen that in your bio on Instagram, that other Instagram account. It says, like, coming 2024. Yeah.
You
got something coming.
Yeah, so I'm actually in the process of starting a clothing brand right now.
Sweet. I was just about to ask that.
It's the brand is going to be called. I actually haven't, like, spoken on this publicly at all yet, but the brand's going to be called Worker.
Okay.
And it's going to be like a mixture of lifestyle and performance and kind of athleisure clothing that is kind of like dark and monochromatic, so it's kind of easier for people to get behind. It's going to be kind of like baggier, oversized. Imagine kind of what, like, people would be wearing in, like, kind of like a rundown dystopian society where it's kind of like low profile, gritty, functional, kind of all of that.
Okay.
That's kind of the vision for it.
Which is kind of what you got on right now, baggy hoodie.
Yeah, exactly
incognito.
That look,
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, these past couple months, well, I would say since, like, August leading into October was probably a period that was, like, the most difficult point in my life that I ever, like, came across, where I was struggling a lot with not only my physical health, with some stuff that I was dealing with, but then also mental health. I think that's something that's not really talked about a lot as men.
Yeah, definitely.
And a lot of things with, like, relationships and people and just, like, some career related stuff, where things kind of took a left-hand turn.
Okay.
And it was kind of just, like, a lot hitting me at once. So I really kind of had to like, dig myself out of like a ditch.
Yeah.
Bounce back.
And through that, I kind of because, like, Better, it's very, like, colorful and loud, and there's just very loud and flashy, and there's a lot going on. But these past couple months, I've kind of, like, made a return to who I feel like I really am, and the way that, like, kind of the way that I dress or the way that I express myself is kind of more me being, like, true to myself and who I really am and what I want to do, and kind of just the way that I want to portray myself.
Really
so.
just express yourself through your clothes.
Exactly that. Yeah. I express myself through like my clothing, my social media, just the style of posting, like what I wear, what I'm listening to, the music, kind of like everything from the ground up. I kind of like make that my brand.
Absolutely.
And because I feel like when you're really trying to build a brand, everything's supposed to kind of be synonymous and like go together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it all has to make sense. So yeah, I mean, I just feel like these last couple months since like October has been a very transformative arc for me as an individual. And I think I've done a bit to like kind of convey that through my social media, because I mean, like obviously like you guys know that there's like been a change, but I think other people are starting to kind of see that like things are kind of changing from the way that they used to be. And I'm trying to kind of like go through. It's kind of like describing like the next arc of my journey, more so to speak.
Absolutely. Which now that you say that, is that why you took the approach with the unreleased design of I don't know if it's coming out or not, but that Better Performance singlet, it's all black and it's got the white branding on the leg cuffs.
Yeah.
Like the white lettering. Is that like the approach you want to take with that? Something just darker that fits you more? That was the goal there with that?
So with that sample specifically, do you have any Better brand singlets?
Absolutely. I just ordered the Miami and the Black Mamba because they re-released. Because
Right.
I wasn't powerlifting when they first initially released, but I have the Bread and the Panda.
So, Better, before I got there, I helped come up with. They had the cut of that singlet already.
Okay.
I helped on finding like a better spandex material that had just a different fabric composition to allow for sublimation so that we can put those specific designs on there.
Okay.
But ever since we dropped the Bread and Panda singlets as well as the Miami Vice, I wanted to make the singlet better.
Yeah.
And with trying to make the singlet better, I've been, ever since like January of 2022 or 2023, I've been taking a lot of time to work with different manufacturers and just like different people to find like a more supportive fabric composition of the fabric, so that like you essentially feel better in the singlet, you know. So that all black singlet that you saw me wear was just a sample from another manufacturer that just had a different cotton blend. It was like a cotton and then a nylon and then like a polyester base rather than just a pure spandex base. So there was, that singlet's never going to come out. It was really just for like designing purposes and testing purposes.
Testing the material more so than the actual design of the singlet.
Exactly that, because it's really it just has like the basic Better branding across the front of it. You know what I mean? It's not it was like nothing too crazy.
I thought the straps looked like a little skinnier on the shoulders. Is
They
that
are.
like the case? Okay.
They
thought
are.
I did notice that they looked a little bit skinnier on the
Yeah,
shoulders.
they're changed for sure. I mean, even that sample wasn't perfect. You know, there's definitely things that I would have needed to change about that silhouette specifically. But that's just like not really where my priorities are right now.
Right. So when I wanted to know, like, when you are the stiff sleeves gonna become an extension of the brand that you now want to create with Worker, or are they gonna be their own thing, remain their own thing, their own private company?
They're gonna be their own thing.
Okay.
In the sense where, the reason why I created the Stiff Sleeve company, is to kind of like troll the industry in the sense where I just want to be someone. I mean, I don't know. I like to shake shit up and I like to challenge the status quo.
Yeah.
And I like to tear down walls.
Yeah.
You definitely
Like to be
achieved
different.
that by releasing those at the price you did.
Right.
Yeah.
Like basically showing the industry, hey, I can make a stiff fucking sleeve.
Yeah.
And I can do it at half the price that you do it.
And that's what I'm saying, because we're in an industry where there's a lot of very money-hungry individuals who care about charging as much as they can.
I agree.
The bottom line, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I respect that. Like, go ahead and get your bag, but I mean, that's not something that really I stand for, me personally, you know,
Yeah.
because who the fuck wants to be paying $130 to $150 for a pair of knee sleeves?
Absolutely, yeah.
There's no need for that.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah, you guys' equipment is like way more expensive than like basketball.
Yeah.
like just with these specifically, like with stiff sleeve, and I've like talked about this a bit on my YouTube and whatnot, but all these companies, whether it be Pioneer and Ghost, A7, Inzer. Well, so Inzer came out with their OG sleeve is actually made somewhere else, but they came out with like this tubular, like straight down cone version.
Mm-hmm.
That, and then all the other companies I listed, Village Hidden and Iron, all their stiff sleeves, and if you, I'm sure if you look at the bags look very similar. It's because they're all made by the same manufacturer.
Yeah. Because
They're
I
all
did
made the
notice.
same.
Yeah, I did notice. Like
It's also
very,
different
'cause
name.
I bought a pair of the Enzer ones, and it's like same type of bag.
Yeah, it's the same shit. Like same people, they just charge a different amount for the branding on the front and maybe a couple colors, whatever. But like, it's really, it's more than just like the sleeve itself. It's more so just like the concept as like, there's more people getting into the sport. We don't need to be doing all this charging like ridiculous prices for equipment, you know?
Because
So,
it's
like,
expensive to get
it is.
the stuff that you need now.
It is. It's
You know?
very expensive, and especially like in today's economy where inflation is like sky high.
Yeah.
And the cost of living is much less affordable to the average American. I feel like it was the perfect time to introduce something like stiff sleeves.
Yeah.
So it doesn't just stop at the knee sleeves. I mean, I have a restock coming of the black sleeves, but I have more colors coming. I have more products coming that are the same quality as everything else that you see. You know what I mean? But for
Different
a fraction of the
variation.
price.
Yeah, which is like just blew my mind to see it. Like honestly, and then like they sold out so fast. Like under 20 minutes, everything was gone. Right? Like that was the times.
Yeah, it's crazy because all except 5 pairs of extra smalls were gone in under 5 minutes.
Damn.
By 10:20, the site was completely sold out. So I was honestly just kind of like in shock watching everything happen because my phone was just blowing up from the Shopify and the emails, and I was just super thankful for like everyone that decided to shop and support because I mean, everything that I've done, aside from just like an athletic standpoint, from like social media, that's very contingent upon everyone that chooses to support me. So it was just like a very like full circle, very beautiful moment that I just had so much gratefulness for.
Yeah. I was stalking the site. I was waiting for that time to hit so I can grab them. I was like, I'm gonna see what these are about, man. I'm gonna see how they measure up, and I've been using them ever since. They are better than the Enzers.
I appreciate
for
that.
a fraction of the price. I was
Maybe half
shocked,
the
dude.
price.
Oh my god, they're crazy stiff, dude. I wanted to tear my legs off for like some of those sessions. Like I was just like every time I was like, dude, get these fucking things off me. I was just like, I want to get done with my back downs and get these things off.
Oh God.
Be worried. I'm just like, I don't know if I'm gonna have a foot after this. I don't think there's any blood in it anymore.
I think it's so crazy, like how expensive like powerlifting, like lifting in general equipment is, like just compared to all other sports. Like basketball, we pay maybe $100 for
a
some
pair of
shoes.
shoes, yeah, and that's it.
Leg sleeve is like $20. Like it's so cheap, and like the
Eventually-
belt. How much are the belts? Like
Like
$130,
$250.
up to $2. Like
Like that's $250 minimum.
that one's $250.
And you gotta like pray you can get them in stock too.
Yeah.
Like
I think SPD like they dropped like a thinner belt for like $280.
yeah, 10 millimeters now. That one's the 13.
Yeah.
Like
they
that's
dropped
just
it.
so crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot of money for some gear, bro.
Especially for the stuff that's like good, like because SPD like patented the buckle style.
Yeah.
That way, like nobody. That's why every other brand you have to use like a screwdriver except for Pioneer.
Right.
I will say Pioneer like found a way around it, made an adjustable buckle for pretty cheap.
They
as far
patented
as
that as well.
Yeah, as far as lever belts go, like pretty damn cheap. Like I think it's like $130 or something like that. I've recommended that to a couple of my buddies because I'm just like, unless like you're like super competitively powerlifting, grab that thing instead of grabbing that SPD belt. It's just not worth it.
I mean, it's all just, if it worked for you, it's fine. You see A7 and then Pioneer, they're coming out with their own versions of adjustable lever belts. And then, I mean, once that patent's up, and I think another like 5-10 years, that design will be free reign for anyone to.
I didn't even know
come
they
out with it.
expired. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so the way patents work is they're good for like a certain amount of time, and then people can use said design. So like for example, with SBD's knee sleeve, it has like a double helix spiral going across, or it's not a double helix, just a single helix reverse spiral going around from the top of the knee joint all the way to the bottom of the calf on the other side.
Is that their new one that they just released? Or is
Well,
that their
that's
old
just the stitching pattern that they've had on their sleeve in general.
one? Okay, I got
It's
you.
just the stitching pattern that's patented right now. By like the end of by like 2030 at the latest, I forget what year it is exactly. That patent won't be valid anymore. So other people can.
Because I
That's
might be wrong,
crazy.
but I take economics in college right now, and pretty sure like they made it so patents expire, so like there's not a lot of monopolies in the market.
Yeah, they don't
Like,
want to have monopolies.
Yeah,
you know?
because like if there's a monopoly, like that, like they're a price maker and a taker. Like they can make the price whatever they want, and the market can't crash because they're the only one that sells that type of
Yeah.
thing. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So
That's crazy. I didn't even know that was something you'd have to worry about with a knee sleeve, like the way they stitch it and stuff. Like,
Yeah, you got to
that's
do your due
insane.
diligence.
Yeah, especially for you because you're trying to manufacture it now.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to
make
have a
it-
cease and desist. sent to me.
Yeah, sent to you.
see,
Mhm.
like Nick, bro, like one of our friend has his own clothing brand,
Mhm.
and it's called V Santana, and he had to add like, so one of his hoodies just says Santana on the front,
Mhm.
and he had to add like a small little V so he didn't get like in trouble for
Yeah,
it
because it's like a band, I believe.
Oh, is
yeah,
it now?
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
yeah. So like segueing, he talked about college. So you went to college at Penn State.
Mhm.
Like, did you like what did you go for? Like, did you finish it? Like, is obviously now you're somewhere with lifting. Like,
Right.
was that after the fact, or is that something that you achieved during school and you're like, you know what, I don't need school anymore. Fucking, I'm balling right now. I'm a dog.
Well, I grew up in Westchester, and I was looking at different schools. I was looking at Villanova, I was looking at Temple, and I was looking at Penn State, and I knew I wanted to go for business.
Okay.
And I ultimately decided on Penn State, and that summer, essentially, I mean, I'll give you a bit more than you asked for, just because I think this will probably
Yeah,
come up
man.
at some point.
No,
but
more's better than less.
my friend had the Instagram username at Wheeze at the time.
Okay.
And it was because when social media platforms first come out, people race to make as many as what they call like OG usernames as possible.
Okay.
And so like, for example, someone will secure like at Troy or like at Belt or some shit. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Just
Yeah.
random words. At
Mhm.
iPhone.
Yeah, just something without any like anything you have to add to the back of it to kind of might ruin it. or
Exactly
something.
that. Because they have hopes of selling it eventually for profit.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's
So
smart.
my friend
That's
had
crazy.
at Wheeze, and at the time my name was just like Sean_Mills with like maybe a 1 or some shit.
Yeah.
And I just asked him, I'm like, how much for that at? Just because I wanted something unique, right? And he like sold it to me for $20. So I went through my whole year at Penn State, just training, working out with the powerlifting team because I mean, I always kind of did squat, bench, and deadlift in high school growing up, but it was when I went to college and I met my best friend, Joe, who was like, no, you can actually, like, be something, like,
oh,
in this
yeah,
sport.
like,
you can
use
actually,
it,
like, for
yeah.
real do this. And so that's when I started working out in the rec center, posting my lifts, because I never, like, posted my lifts prior, because I used to post my lifting in, like, or I used to like lift in high school or whatever, but I never posted it because kids would make fun of me. for
Yeah.
it.
Been
And-
there.
Shit, lame.
Yeah, and like I started going to the gym in high school. Like I now like social media is much trendier and like social media is social media and like going to the gym is cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
To
Like,
an extent now.
To
They
an
still make
extent.
fun of you.
I
yeah.
understand,
yeah.
but, like-
to the niche, like to us,
Yeah.
like I guess, like yeah.
But what I'm saying is, you see far more and more people getting into the gym that otherwise would not
Absolutely.
have. In the sense
Absolutely.
where like
Social media's blew it up.
yeah, because it's because of social media and it's trendy now. But
Yeah.
like this was not the case when I was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went to Penn State and I started posting my lifting and my Instagram name changed, I started like just building traction, just like at Penn State, just working because kids would just see me in the rec center like squatting like 600 pounds, like what the fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's when COVID hit and COVID locked us down.
Mm.
And then I kept posting my lifting. I need a call right now, my bad. I started posting my lifting, and that was when I started to like build some traction. I was just training in my basement, and that's when I started to like build traction on social media, like within the context of powerlifting.
Okay.
And that's like kind of like when my entire life changed. And meanwhile, like I'm still going to Penn State, I'm still taking my classes there, but like I'm competing and I'm putting my training first and I'm prioritizing that. And then we fast forward to around junior year, and at the time I was going for marketing at Penn State, which is like a bullshit degree in the sense where like the way that marketing is taught is how marketing was done about like 10, 15 years ago, you know, because the curriculum always gets updated late. So I was being taught outdated material, and I'm like, I'm learning far more about marketing through social media and through myself rather than like in the classroom. You know, that's why like I never really placed too much weight on like what certain people had to say with certain things, because I'm like, I know this better myself. Or like I was flipping shoes like at the time, and I was learning shit through there.
He was too.
I was doing like a bunch of shit. Yeah,
that was the move, bro.
It was.
He was flipping
was the
shoes
fucking
back in the day
move.
too.
Shoes was the
Yeah,
move.
that was my thing in high school.
Yeah, so I always learned and placed more weight on what I had going on personally rather than like what somebody else told me I should care about or what they told me I should do.
Okay.
And so it was around towards the end of junior year where I FaceTimed my friend Dion, who currently resides in Houston, who was the designer for Better.
Okay.
And he convinced, and because essentially what happened was I was sitting in my business law class, and the professor asked everyone to raise their hand as to who had a summer internship lined up for them.
Okay.
And pretty much like everyone raised their hand except for me, because I was honestly spending all my time lifting and making like hundreds of thousands of dollars through crypto, like, and NFTs and shit. You know, so like, I didn't really care about classes. And none of that.
Bro was gonna get that bread no
didn't
matter how.
care.
Damn, didn't know Wheeze was a hustler like that, bro. I didn't know he was like that,
That's
bro.
what I'm saying. Like most people don't know, but because like I don't really be advertising it like that.
Yeah, I was about to say, I had no clue you did anything with NFTs or crypto.
Right. Yeah.
That's fucking fire.
Yeah.
That's so fucking fire.
So the professor asked who had an internship, and I went home that night and I like had like an anxiety attack because I'm like, holy shit, like I've been here for 3 years. Am I like everyone's doing one thing, but I'm doing something different? Am I doing the wrong thing? What am I doing? And it was like this big like internal struggle. But I knew that I didn't want to spend my time doing something that I didn't find fulfilling or something that I already cared about.
Yeah.
So that's when I FaceTimed Dion, going back to that, and I talked to him about the idea of coming down to Houston for the summer and working for the brand. Like I didn't know what that was going to entail or what that was going to be like or what I was even going to do, but I knew that I wanted to be in Houston and that I didn't want to spend another summer here.
Yeah.
And he gave me some words of encouragement, and then eventually I talked to Russ, and that's when they gave me the opportunity to go down there and see what it was all about. And that was the summer that the brand really blew up, and a lot of good things happened. And towards the end of the summer, because they were kind of cracking jokes when I got down there, they're like, oh yeah, he's not going to go back at the end of the summer. Shit's going to be so different. Like there's no way he's going to go back. But eventually I was met with like a full-time job offer, and it was good money. And I was looking at it and I said, this is exactly where I want to be, but I'm just here a year earlier, in the sense where I can go back to school and finish my degree and then come back here. But somebody's going to have to fill my spot.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I would have lost
That
the opportunity.
Yeah.
And I told myself, you know, school's always going to be there, but opportunities aren't.
Yeah.
Nah, for
Facts.
sure.
So that's when I bet on myself, and I decided to stay down there. And it worked out for the better. But
No pun intended.
yeah.
That's the best part. I love that about that brand, is they can just throw Better with anything.
Right, yeah, Better's
the Better
applicable to a lot.
podcast, the
Yeah.
Better brand. Like, I think that is like, Russ was smart for doing that. I don't know if he came up with it, but if he did, that was clever as fuck, because that motherfucker could throw Better with literally anything. He doesn't have to think about a name for anything anymore. It's just like, this is the Better this, the Better that.
Could we pause real quick? My dad's like blowing up my phone. I want to get back to him real quick.
Yeah, sure.
A few moments later.
So like, yeah, I mean, I dropped out. Like I said, like school's always gonna be there if I want to go back and finish. But right now, it just doesn't suit me to do that.
Yeah. Got you. So it's still on the back burner right now as we speak. It's not something that you've like re-entered to. Okay.
I have like 2 semesters left to finish.
Okay.
Nothing big.
Yeah, it's nothing. But can you do that online, or like do you have to go back to?
I
Penn
could
State
do it
to
online, but I think the motivation for doing it in person is just that much better in the sense where like, I mean, I tried taking online classes, but given like what I had to do at the time and like my workload, it just didn't make sense for me to. And like, taking online classes right now, like if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it all the way. Like I'm gonna get back in person.
Absolutely, yeah, that's true.
But it just doesn't make sense to, given like what I got going on right now, because the degree is not really gonna do anything for me.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so it's just not really in my interest.
Got you. So you're also coached by Joey Flex, which is nothing to fucking sneeze at. It's a big deal. Where in your journey did that come along, and what was that like? Because he handpicks his athletes. Like, you don't just get to text Joey and be like, "Hey, can you coach me?"
Yeah, it's not like he has inquiries constantly.
Yeah, exactly. So like, how did that come along?
Well, kind of like going back to me being a freshman at Penn State, and when my best friend Joe told me at the time that I had the potential to really do this, and like be like one of the best at it. He kind of already was, because he had been powerlifting since like 2016.
Okay.
And he was already familiar with like many of the people in the game, you know, like he knew about Russ, Joey, and like he told me about these 2 coaches named Joey Flex and Sean Noriega. And I literally like emailed them both at the same time with like the exact same copy and paste.
Just copy and paste.
I swear to God.
That's fire.
Should have just CC'd both of them.
I know, honestly. And so like there could be like an alternate universe for sure right now where like I had just like was coached by Sean Noriega the entire time. But yeah, I had emailed both of them at the same time. And Joey got back to me like the next day, while Sean got back to me like a week and a half later. You know, so since Joey
first
got back
come,
to me
first
first,
serve.
yeah, I was just I'm gonna do this, you know. So we started working together in around like January or February of 2020, and it's been coming up on 4 years now. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's fire. What's that like being coached by him? Like, is it everything you ever hoped it would be?
Yeah.
I want to live vicariously for you for a second.
No. I mean, no, Joey's a great guy. I see him as kind of like a father figure role in my life. And like he and I talk about, like, I think the vast majority of our relationship like far exceeds powerlifting in the sense where like 90% of the time I'm talking to him, like we're not talking about powerlifting. We're talking about like crypto, like shit going on.
Oh shit,
in the
Joey's
news.
down on that with
Yeah,
it. Sweet,
shit,
dude.
Like just I don't know, random shit that doesn't really pertain to powerlifting. I'd say like powerlifting kind of like encapsulates maybe like 10% of like what we really talk about.
You guys have like a real relationship.
Oh yeah,
outside of just
which is
coaching client.
so important.
Yeah,
it's so important.
It's a very beautiful thing. I'm very, very, very grateful for him and everything he's done for me.
Absolutely. So I believe the last, I could be wrong, and I think I am wrong, but I want to say your last meet was when you went to Korea, but I know it's not.
No,
I
it
swear,
was.
really, I could have swore you had one after that, and I'm just forgetting it.
No,
but,
the last one was in Korea.
Yeah, so you went to Korea with Russ. You wore that fire Da Vinci fit. I'm not gonna lie, dude. That black fit you had on, dude, for weigh-ins.
That was one of my top 5 fits.
Fire. That fit was fire, dude. I saw that. I was like, God damn, bro. Him and Wes really out there stepping.
Word, bro.
Russ
I
and him
swear
are
to God,
stepping, bro. You posted those pictures. I was like, fuck, dude. This is better than shit they be wearing to these NBA games, bro.
Actually,
Wheeze
bro.
was out there, bro. The pictures went crazy.
Dude, I felt it's so funny, bro. I felt like I was in a motherfucking movie.
Dude, the pictures look crazy. Like
Yeah.
where you were in the middle of the street. I was like, this is like some fucking Matrix
Dude,
shit, bro.
yeah, it was
Yeah,
Matrix.
yeah.
Was it
bro.
like neon lights in the back or some shit?
Dude,
I
it was
didn't
like he was
see
like
it.
in the middle of the city streets, dude,
Yeah.
and
It was
this like
like
all
it was, like,
black
dark.
like trench coat. He got the Da Vinci shades on,
Yeah.
and
that
a
shit-
black mask on because
that
COVID
shit's
was
tight.
still kind of going.
It was
Oh
the-
my
yeah,
god,
that
dude,
shit's
yeah, it
tight
was
about
fire.
Yeah, it was a great time over
Yeah.
there. Very thankful for the Koreans having us out there. It was a great time.
Yeah, that meet looked awesome. The ways they set it up looked freaking amazing. And you haven't competed since. So like, do you have anything planned right now? Like, are you looking at different federations maybe, or like what's going into the decision making process right now of when you're next gonna compete?
Yeah. So I was gonna do Corrupted Strength, the CSC.
Oh yeah,
This November. Obviously, I
got
canceled.
canceled. Yep.
But that was gonna be likely my last USAPL meet.
Okay.
So, I mean, aside from that, like the plans really haven't changed. I plan to go to the IPF.
Yeah, I know you've talked about it briefly on your IG story. I've peeped it. So like now that that Corrupted Classic has been canceled, are you still gonna look for one USAPL meet, or are you just rapping to say we're going to Worlds? Like,
We're gonna go to PA Nats and then try to go to Worlds. Yeah.
try. I think
That's-
you got
that's
that,
the
my
plan.
guy. Yeah,
appreciate that.
I'm not gonna lie. I think you
I like
got
to keep it
that,
humble,
bro.
but
Yeah, absolutely. But I think you'd be all right, man. I think-
Educate me a little bit on Worlds, because like I don't
Okay.
know
Right,
a lot
yeah,
about
yeah.
powerlifting.
right.
So there's federations. He probably knows it way better than I do, but there's federations, and the IPF is like, I'd say like for untested listeners, I say that's like the cream to the crop. That's like
Yeah.
the Super Bowl of powerlifting. I think you can explain it better than I
Yeah.
can.
So essentially, what it is there's like the World Federation called the IPF, the International Powerlifting Federation.
Okay.
And comprising of that federation are other smaller IPF affiliated federations that are reside in each country that all these lifters compete at, and the best of each of those federations competes at IPF Worlds, which is
Okay.
like the world meet. And USAPL is the big federation here. They used to be a part of the IPF, but due to some disagreements in drug testing protocols and things of that nature, a lot of political bullshit, the USAPL was banned from the IPF. So as a result, there was a new IPF affiliate in the U.S. created called Powerlifting America.
Okay.
So that's kind of what I mean when I refer to like going to Powerlifting America Nationals and then going to Worlds after, because you first have to be the best in one federation to move on to the next.
So it's like a bunch of leagues, basically,
Exactly.
in a sense.
In a
yeah.
sense,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly that, yeah.
Some
Like
of them
like
are
a giant tournament.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
almost.
like similar
Yeah.
to soccer. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So like some of them have like different bars. Like I know IPF. I know you balling out here. This is a joke I make all the time. Is you have your own Alico power bar.
Yeah.
Like that's how you know you balling, bro. That's like
Right.
a $1,200 bar.
Yeah.
Like when you got your own IPF approved Alico bar. That's how you know you're balling. Like
Yeah, I mean, I just, you know, to most people, you know, spending that much money on a barbell seems crazy, you know. But I just, if I have the means to get my training to be more accurate or more to the standard of what a meet's going to be in, and I can get the exact same bar that I'm going to be lifting on the day of competition, I don't mind paying or doing whatever I can do if it's within my capabilities to be able to do that.
Yeah, bro.
You know.
Absolutely. So you're gonna look to go to Worlds. So do you have any aspirations of possibly ending up on that Sheffield stage? You know, that's very new and it's huge. You know, it was a big deal last year, the first one they ran. Obviously, you can't do this one because it's all like filled out. But is that
Right.
something down the road that you're gonna look to set your eyes on?
If that's what's in the cards for me, yeah, you know, I would love to do that. If I have the opportunity and it's presented to me and I work hard enough as an athlete, that's definitely an aspiration of mine, you know. But I think I've kind of more so adopted the outlook where what's going to happen is going to happen. You know, you're kind of along for the ride, and you're going to do what you're going to do. And like 90% of life or what happens to you, or 90% of what your life looks like is kind of what happens to you, and the other 10% is how you react. So if
Okay.
the stars all
That's
align
fire.
and I get
Bar.
That's a bar.
Bar.
You get that from somebody?
Bar.
Or are we quoting
Bar,
you?
Wheeze. Damn.
I don't know where I heard that from, but
Dude,
I've,
that's
I've been saying
Oh
that
well,
for a
we
minute.
gonna
That's a
we're gonna
bar.
quote you. That's fire.
Yeah, we're having the
That's
quote. That was
fire.
crazy. Bar.
That's fire.
But yeah, no. If that's what comes my way, and hopefully I do what I need to do as an athlete to be put in a position to do that, then I'd love to be in that position. You know,
Mhm.
I just kind of my whole point in bringing that up was I don't really know what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
that's
Like,
fair.
You're
That's
just ready
fair.
for anything that comes at you.
That comes your way.
Exactly
Absolutely.
that, exactly
Fair.
I
that.
feel that. I feel that for sure.
Yeah. So like some athletes have goals obviously with like their totals, numbers they want to hit, things of that nature.
Mhm.
Do you have any of those right now that maybe you're looking to hit in 2024? Is there like a total maybe you're chasing at the moment?
Yeah, I definitely want a total 2K or 907.5 kilos
There you go.
because my best total in training was 880, which is like like low 1900s. I honestly, it's to the point where like I've kind of rewired my brain to only think in kilos. I don't really know the pound
Yeah, dude,
conversions of anything.
I'm trying to get that to that point. I really am.
It gets to the because I mean I used to train on pound plates and I just bought myself kilos and forced myself to get used to that.
I've been using that Power
Is
Build
that
app.
because like that's what like the
That's
Yeah,
federation
that's
and
what the
everything-
federations
okay.
use is the kilos.
Yeah,
I got
so-
the app. Dude, I'm stupid.
Right.
So
I'm
is like
trying.
the red plate like equal to like a 45-pound plate?
55
No, it's
pounds.
Oh, it's
55 pounds.
Mhm.
Yeah, they got like
It's
it's so
interesting, bro.
weird
That's
on
so,
the.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
It's so weird because because they have they have a pound variation, then they have a kilos variation
it's
too.
weird. It's weird.
So like
Technically, we're the weird ones because we're the only ones not on the metric system.
okay,
you know?
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
That's
we
true.
are.
Like, why the fuck are
Yeah.
we using 45 pounds? Why,
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
45?
Yeah.
It's true.
You know, what does
so
that
I can
mean?
look better squatting 4
Facts.
plates instead
Right? Yeah.
instead of 3 reds.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
That's really
Absolutely.
facts, bro.
it's a big dampener. When I first pulled 4 plates here at when I went to Powerville, I asked Serge if we could pull on pound plates instead.
That's
I got
so good.
lucky; there was no kilos. But he was like, dude, fuck no, we're not pulling on pound plates.
That's so hilarious, bro.
Oh yeah,
So like, obviously you got a lot of stuff going for you. You know, like you said,
appreciate that.
recently you just had like a dark time in your life where it was like really hard. So like, what keeps you like motivated? Like, what keeps you going? Like, is it just the love for everything, or is there something deeper?
This is something that I've kind of like always told myself through thick and thin, you know, and it's not even like motivation or drive or like maybe it's discipline, I don't know, but
Yeah.
like the only thing I tell myself is you just have to keep moving forward.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to keep moving forward, like no matter what happens, because what are you gonna do? Stop and give up?
Yeah.
yeah.
You can't do
Fair.
that. That's not
Yeah.
an option.
It's not.
That's just like the voice that's like in the back of my head that I tell myself, you know, like you just have to keep moving forward, and then like at the end of the day, are you gonna win or are you gonna lose?
Yeah.
Because
I feel
nothing else matters aside from if you just boil it down to that. If some bullshit happens to you, whatever life throws your way, there's some death, illness, sickness, injury, betrayal, heartbreak, whatever. Are you going to let that stop you from what you need to do as an individual to get from point A to point B? And if you're going to let that stop you from doing what you need to do as a man, then this shit's not cut out for you.
Mhm.
And it's you either do it or you don't do it. You know, that's really the way I look at it.
I definitely feel that because, like, I feel all my life, like, growing up as a basketball player, like, I've always had times where I'm just like, bro, I'm done.
Mhm.
Like, I'm done. But, like, I can't let myself be done.
Yeah.
Like, there's something else in me that's like, no, bro,
Doesn't
you're not
allow
done.
it. Doesn't
Like,
allow
just
it.
keep going, bro. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So I
Absolutely.
definitely feel that 100%, bro.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Going back to the to your brand with Stiff Sleeve and something we talked about way earlier
Mhm.
with your new brand, like what's the like, because like you can obviously tell if anyone follows you, you can obviously tell you love fashion.
Mhm.
You know, considering you know the way you dress, the way you express yourself. You know, you do a lot of the designing for the Better brand. So like, what's your long-term goal with fashion design, and like also how did you just like what got you into that? Like, how did you come along with fashion? Like, what like pushed you in that direction?
Well, I feel like my entire life, I never really fit in, and I've kind of like felt like an outcast or like an outlier, or that I wasn't really like everyone else the entirety of my life, for better or for worse, you know. And I've yet to kind of really figure out why that is. It's something I've talked to a therapist about, as to kind of why I feel just like different. But one of the ways that I felt different was that, like, I'm not a very verbal person,
Right.
in the sense where I've always been growing up very to myself. I didn't have a lot of friends. I suffered from and I still do suffer from like pretty bad social anxiety. I just, like, for many reasons, I did not feel like everyone else. I didn't feel like I like communicated or like expressed myself like everyone else. And just kind of one of the ways that I always did express myself was through the way I dressed. And I feel like that's something that a lot of people can relate to. Whether it regards to people involved in fashion or any other form of art or anything, they kind of use it as like a form of self-expression rather than anything else. Just like, kind of like the way I dress now is kind of like more so a reflection of like of who I feel I am and the way that I think and my emotions and things of that nature. You know what I mean? So I've kind of, ever since college, kind of been unapologetically myself in terms of the way that I carry myself. Like my hair, I used to have like very long hair, like down to my shoulders.
Oh, damn,
like,
really?
Yeah, like freshman year of college, I
it's
just
still
didn't cut
pretty
my hair
long.
at
Yeah, it's
all.
still pretty long. You got the mullet going right now, don't you?
I got the mullet right now, and like
Yeah.
I think I made the mullet like pretty iconic within like fitness in general.
It's a true statement. It's
Yeah.
true.
I like the mullet.
Yeah.
I like mullets, bro.
Because everything comes in circles, like the mullet used to be popular and like from like the 80s or 70s
Yeah,
or
history
whatever it
repeats
was.
itself.
And everything, history does repeat itself, and I think I've kind of made that like my look for the foreseeable future. I don't know how long I'll have that for, but I mean,
You've
I've
had
always,
it for a grip, bro. Yeah,
for a
you're
minute
keeping
now.
it. You're
For a minute
staying
now.
loyal. Like a lot of people, like let it die. You're just like, nah, dude.
I'm still going.
I'm going.
Because I
with
think
it.
I've made it part of my brand.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? So
Hey, dude, you rock the shit out of it, dude.
I appreciate
you
that.
do.
Yeah.
You're not like one of these dudes that like tried it and just it doesn't look bad and they're dying with it. Nah, dude, you
That's what
fucking
I'm saying.
rock
He
that.
has
shit.
like his own aesthetic. Like,
Yeah,
it's
dude.
Exactly
it's
that.
just
The mullet
him.
is a
And
part of him.
Like
He
you
is a
said,
part of
that's
the
his
mullet.
whole point. Is like for it to just be him.
Yeah,
Like that's his whole point.
you
There
get
you
it. Yeah.
Literally.
absolutely. Yeah, so like, what's the long term goal now with the new brand coming like down the road with it?
To really see where I can take it, and I want to, especially with stiff sleeve, I want that to be the kind of like the gateway for much more people to be able to get into the sport, have top of the line equipment, and not have to
Absolutely.
break the bank for it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because
Absolutely.
I'm very fortunate myself to be able to, like, I can if I want to buy an Alico bar, I can buy an Alico bar. If I
Yeah.
if I want to get these sleeves or this singlet or whatever, I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
But not
Not-
everybody.
not everyone has that
ability,
luxury,
Yeah.
You want them to have what you didn't have maybe when you were younger, when you were starting to get into
Exactly
it.
that,
Absolutely.
like I
Kinda
don't want
like
people
your-
to have to get some like shitty pair of like, I'm not even gonna drop a brand name because I'm not gonna do that, but like any like shitty pair of sleeves with belt or whatever, like these are cheaper than a pair of SBD sleeves,
Yep.
which is like the industry
That's
standard.
standard,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So that's really why I did that, and I just wanna keep scaling that and growing that and just see where I can take it.
That's kind of like Shaquille O'Neal. Like that's why his
Oh,
shoes
yeah,
are so
yeah,
cheap
yeah,
because all these other athletes is like $100+ for a pair of basketball shoes. But Shaq said, "No, I'll make my shoes $25, sell them at Walmart
Saw
for
them
the
at
kids
Walmart
who don't
for the
have
kids. Yeah.
like can't afford that luxury."
Mhm.
So,
That's respect, yeah.
I definitely fuck with that heavy, bro.
Yeah.
And then with worker, I really want to see where I can take that in the sense where I've done all the parts of growing somebody else's company.
True.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
for them.
Yeah, absolutely. You've worked
And
that.
not for myself.
Yeah.
I know how everything's done. I know the manufacturers. I know the marketing. I know the design.
Yeah.
What I want to do now is I want to take all of that and put it together and do it for myself.
Absolutely.
And one, like, with like a clothing brand, it goes far beyond the clothes.
Yeah.
And in reality, it's really not about the clothes because there's a million clothing brands out there.
Exactly.
But who's wearing them?
Exactly.
Right.
With Worker, it's more so about creating a world that, from the outside looking in, someone can look into and see what this world is about. See what this, like, if there's like a list of commandments or like morals or values and like traditions and just like themes of that brand that are like visually and like visually iconic, but then also very representative of said brand and kind of what that brand stands for.
Okay.
You know, I want to give people who never really felt like they belonged with everyone else, for better or for worse, kind of like an identity that they can attach themselves to. Because that's what I would have wanted if I was younger. You know what I mean? I would have wanted that person to look to and kind of confide in, and kind of like that person to like carry that torch and like follow them. You know what I mean? Like I tell myself, like, be the person you needed when you were younger.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's
that
fine.
person.
God damn,
God
Wheeze.
damn.
Jeez.
And with Worker, I wanna be that voice or that force for people to kind of follow under that umbrella and like be that identity for people to identify with and kind of like create a movement.
Create a community for all these people to come together.
It's all about community.
Yeah,
Everything is community.
That's great.
All these people that don't feel as if they belong, like, create something for
But
them.
not even just the fact that you didn't feel like you belonged. Be like, I didn't belong, and like, yeah, I caught shit for it, whatever. Like, it was, you know, because the shit hurts. Everyone wants to belong somewhere. Everyone wants to. Nobody wants to be alone. Everyone wants to be like a part of something bigger than them.
Yeah.
But like, through that pain, through that adversity, what I'm gonna do, and this is where the name comes in, I'm gonna outwork everyone else that I know. Everyone in school, anyone that I grew up with, anyone who didn't believe in what I was doing, who didn't see the vision, I'm gonna work harder than every single one of them, and I'm gonna show them that they fucked up by not believing in me.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna put it all on the line, and this is gonna be the finished result as a part of it. I just want, through me experiencing that and me growing up through that, this is like the physical manifestation of that.
Absolutely. I spent some time, like, I struggled with something similar to that, where we're from, like, we don't have very good options for gyms. Like, we have like just commercial gyms and like a YMCA, which is like the same thing.
Right.
But it's like, I noticed, like, I started going there like when I was young, and like, don't take your shirt off, don't do this, don't do that, don't pull without crash pads, don't, like, all these things set to like just make you like the grandma on the treadmill basically. And like, I had to leave one of the gyms, and I went to like the only other one in the community, and I worked out there for like a year. I was making social media content and everything, and like one day I'm deadlifting like I normally do, and like one of the trainers in there like asked me to like move my equipment into another area because like it was too loud, and she was trying to do like a public session in a public gym in a public area.
Yeah, it's
and
retarded.
yeah, so I got a text the next morning from the gym owner, and the gym owner's like, hey, I'm not allowing tripods anymore, and it's just like, I'm looking at this, and I'm like, I wasn't even gonna post because I got that video mic'd up. I had recently gotten like mic'd up the Rode Bluetooth ones that got really big at the time.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even gonna post it, just like out of respect for the gym owner, because I liked him. And then like after seeing that, like seeing how quick he was to like turn his back to me and stuff, you know, after all the people like I brought, you know, over to that gym and promoted his gym because I thought he was really cool. And I like that, like
It's a
hurt.
slap in the face.
It hurts. So
It's
I
a
was,
slap in the face.
I posted it. And I put my phone in my pocket. I was at work, and I knew it was gonna blow up because you just know something like that on TikTok, like the algorithm eats that
went
shit
hella
up.
viral too.
Yeah,
feeling.
I opened up my phone, millions and millions of views, like, but that didn't change the fact that like I have to drive like 25 minutes now to go to a gym, and like even then it's still like a commercial gym. Like but like we've put some powerlifting equipment in it, but like I still don't, you know, it's hard to feel like you belong in there. Well, there's no like-minded people really in there. So like I know how it feels, you know, you're not like, and then I come here, I visit Power Build, I visit Iron Revolution. You see all these other people. Like I remember the first time I walked in there, I was like, man, everybody's got a tripod, everybody's got a camera, everybody's doing this, everybody's doing that.
Everyone's trying to make something of themselves.
Exactly. And it's like I really wish I could like be in this environment on a consistent level, like around these like-minded people, you know, and grow in that environment.
But that made you go, like just the fact that happened, because that happened the same thing with me. With the first gym I went to, they like told me I couldn't like deadlift there or some shit. You know, it was like this trainer who like, I was a freshman in high school. I was stronger than him, and like all the trainers didn't like me because I was outlifting all of them. That chip on my shoulder and like them telling me that I can't do this or that I'm not allowed to do this, it made me go that much harder. And it's like, all right, well, I'm gonna put myself in an environment where I'm gonna thrive and that I'm gonna outgrow this shit right here. You know, so like it's something that like it's like a universal message that perpetuates itself.
Absolutely,
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I was about to say, Troy, you definitely do go through that because, like, for real, in our area, Troy's like really the only power lifter for real. Like, you don't see that.
Except
like,
for,
around.
actually, you will know the other guy from our area, Isaac Whistler.
Yeah.
He's a teammate of yours. He's from Meadville, yeah.
Shout
like,
out
same
Isaac.
school, everything. Yeah, shout out Isaac, man. He's cool.
Good dude.
I've been trying to get a session in with him, but he's
Just
like...
bought a house.
Did he really? Yeah. He's
Yeah.
like never... He's just like never on Instagram.
Yeah,
So, like,
he stays out the way.
He stays... Yeah, Isaac stays out the way, dude.
Yeah, I
like,
respect
so
that.
it's... Yeah, I respect it. He just won Nats, you know, shout out to him for winning that. He had an amazing performance. I'd love to get a session in with him sometime. Pick up some... That Joey Flex knowledge.
Dude, yeah, he'll spit you some game for sure.
See if I can get in on that. But yeah, dude, like there's not a lot of it. And like especially when I started doing like the social media, I was just like I started posting daily and stuff, and like it was like my senior year of high school, and like everybody would like crack jokes at me, this, that, the third. Like I remember I was in like foods class once, and like some girl posted something like a stick figure drawing like on the whiteboard, like, and put my at next to it and like posted on her story. Thought it was like some funny shit.
That's what I'm
And
saying.
it's just like
people, everyone
It's
thinks
just
we're fucking
lame,
it's
bro.
lame, yeah. And I was
lame as hell.
it's like there's like I feel like to the people on the outside looking in at the fitness community nowadays, especially with what social media has done with it. Like I think I don't like relate to a lot of like 60% of like some of the really corny stuff that our gym community does put out on the internet.
Yeah.
Because like we do put some corny shit out there,
Like
and
the whole
it
gym bro
gives
narrative.
yeah, like there's some like really corny gym bro trends and narratives that get put out there, like, and like there are definitely a lot of people like that in the community nowadays that kind of like messes with guys that are more like laid back and not like in
shit
your
got
face
really
about
cringe
it.
for sure.
Absolutely.
And it makes me like not, because I don't like doing the trends or like posting like everyone else.
Absolutely.
Because I just think it's corny. So that's why I just kind of like do my own thing. I kind of always have.
Because I've found a lot of them on TikTok, and I've just been like, this is so corny.
Yeah,
like,
it's bad.
like I don't even like, even for the sake of like having a video to post tomorrow, I don't want to do it because it's just so corny. And I think a lot of that has to do with like a lot of the guys that have came in, you know, recently in the industry. Not that it's like they're cringy in themselves, or like the guys like Trend Twins and guys like that who have come in, and it's like I think kids that have taken their message to the extreme, I guess per se, and like just made it corny through that.
Yeah, I mean, it just naturally happens, you know, but what are you going to do? Because, I mean, at least people are getting into the gym.
Absolutely, yeah.
Thanks.
It is really nice to see like social media take it, because I feel like, you know, when we look at it, like maybe when you started, like the money in owning a gym was probably from like the old lady that walks on the treadmill 2 to 3 times a week.
Yeah,
and now
it became so much more trendier, and it's cool. Like, it is cool to go to the gym now. It did not used to be cool.
It was
to go to
not
the
cool,
gym.
yeah. So
it's
now,
so crazy to me that it wasn't cool back then because
Yeah.
like that's just like
People
so
get
you
made fun of
just-
for going to the gym.
Absolutely,
like
dude.
not be
Absolutely.
fit. Like I don't understand that.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it make no sense, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And now the money's in the youth because of social media. Like so many kids, like they just want to go there, get a pump, and like take a picture in the mirror. Like
Now you have people getting into the gym for the wrong reasons.
absolutely, absolutely.
You know.
I think it's thanks to guys like you that like have put that stuff on social media and that have shown like, you know, that balance between, you know, being mature while also being, you know, you don't have to be like crazy out of whack to like do this in a
I
mature
try to just
way.
keep it real. I just try to
Yeah.
keep it real. I try to keep it realistic, and I try to show what's possible to other people,
Absolutely.
and however people want to interpret my content, they can. You know, because I mean, there's a lot of people that don't like me. You know, so I mean, you're not going to be for everyone. You know,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you can just really stay true to yourself, and people are going to react how they react. You know, but that's really for them to deal with. You know.
I think you're definitely like one of the more genuine guys out there right now because I think it's like other than like Sam Solik who's came in like recently. I think that's about as genuine as it gets right
Yeah.
there. That dude,
Yeah.
that dude couldn't lie if you fucking paid him. He's like, I'm gonna grab this giant jug of chocolate milk now.
Yeah,
And
I'm glad he blew up. because
Yeah.
that's exactly what fitness needed
That's
at a time like this.
exactly because you know I feel like we've had so many guys that have came in recently and just kind of had a like probably like not purposely just had a bad influence on like the younger generation just because their inability to interpret certain things and just take things to the extreme.
Right.
I know it's like Lex Little's a great example. I like how he like when Lex is like off program or like just like not doing very well with his training, he just keeps it a buck. And he's just like, yeah, guys, I just haven't been very consistent recently. This, that, the third. Like he doesn't lie about it or anything, like or just put content up for shits.
Transparency
He's just-
is everything.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I never understood how people just can't keep like it real. Like I've always been that type of person. Like I'm just keep it real with you. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well, the reality is most people don't keep it real.
I know.
Yeah.
You know, and it's fucked up. But I mean,
It's a,
that's just the world we live in.
So-
You know?
In any circumstance, people won't keep it real with you.
it's a
Mhm.
rare
It's just,
characteristic.
It's just crazy. And like when you find that characteristic, you gotta cherish it
That's what
within that person.
Because
Absolutely.
most people don't.
Because most people don't.
Absolutely.
Like
You can't
real
take
talk.
that for granted.
And you can't take advantage of it either. If somebody's real with you, don't take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Like in a bad way.
Right.
In a sense.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So what's the future looking like for you now? Moving forward, you sticking in Houston, you got plans in Houston, like is there any like really like big things coming for you this 2024 that just like you want to get off your chest, you need to let out right now? Put everybody on notice in a sense.
I'm gonna make 2024 everything that I wanted 2023 to be. Because I mean, I can probably say that 2023 was one of the worst years of my life for sure.
Sorry to hear that, man.
I mean, it happens, you know. No need to apologize, but 2024 is the year that I put myself first and I prioritize the things that I actually care about and that I want to prioritize, whether that be my own physical and mental health, putting that first, because if you don't have your health, you don't have anything.
Absolutely.
My lifting, because I think for the longest time, my lifting took a back seat to me having to prioritize other things, which is fine. It is what it is. But just really taking the time to prioritize being an athlete again and putting my training first. I realized that these past 4 weeks of training I've had, where I've been much more secluded, because I stopped going to Corrupted before Corrupted even shut down.
Yeah, I noticed you've been going to different gyms recently.
Yeah. And like I took the time to like hop around a couple different gyms. But I just realized that me training secluded in like a closed off environment with like maybe one or two people that like are my actual people.
Yep, absolutely.
That's the only thing I care about. I don't care about, like, I don't have many friends.
Mhm.
I have like 3 or 4 friends. That's it.
it's good that way sometimes. So.
That's all you really need.
I don't think it's. I mean, I'm gonna be real. I don't think it is a good thing to have a lot of friends.
I don't think it is either.
And I might just be jaded, but I don't trust people that have a lot of friends, because how are you gonna be friends with everyone?
Yeah.
That's unauthentic.
Yeah.
That's a conflict of interest,
Yeah.
because
It's not really genuine at that point.
Because, like, how are you going to imagine you're going to a gym and you're friends with this dude over here, but then he's friends with the people that don't like you, and then some other people over here, and then these other old boy over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
Absolutely.
not. Because then you're going to be looking at him like,
That can't match
where the
up.
fuck do you stand?
Yeah, where do you stand? That can't
Like,
match
that doesn't
up.
that
There's
doesn't
no
make
way.
any sense. It's not realistic.
Absolutely,
It's not.
yeah.
So I don't trust people that have a whole lot. They're friends with everyone. I don't trust them. I have a lot of acquaintances. I can do
Absolutely,
acquaintances,
yeah.
but
You can
they're-
say hi to somebody.
I
you know?
can keep it cordial with someone. I can say hi to someone, but they're not friends. They're not.
Absolutely.
So I think 2024 really me just prioritizing myself and the people that I consider close to me and that I can call true friends, because there's very clear characteristics in people that are and aren't your friends. You know what I'm
Absolutely,
saying?
yeah.
So really just taking the time to put myself in an environment an environment where I'm not around people that I don't want to be around.
Absolutely.
Because it's almost like poison. If you're giving your energy, or you're around people that don't have your best interest in mind, or that just want something from you, or want to get something out of you, or want to be involved with you for malice or like non-pure intended reasons, that's going to take away from everything that you're doing.
Absolutely.
And that's something that I had to learn the hard way over the past year and a half to 2 years. So 2024 is really just the return to like my roots and like getting back to what Sean cares about.
Absolutely. Prioritizing yourself and seeing what you can do with all that energy.
Prioritizing my mental, my physical, my lifting, my business, all that stuff. And that's really what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I'm actually very excited to hear that. Just because not seeing what you did in 2023, if that's the case, like now to see what you can do while you're prioritizing yourself in 2024, that's like super exciting to just like imagine like the possibilities that you can run with.
No, I appreciate that. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm especially excited for the brand. But just to wrap this out, is there like anything, like any message you want to put out there for anyone that may have been in your position at one point or is looking to getting into fashion, powerlifting, designing, like anything of that nature? Something you would have wanted to tell your younger self maybe?
One, be unapologetically yourself, and don't let anyone change that. Two, keep working.
Indeed.
There you go.
Keep
There you
working.
go. Keep working. That's got to be the
Head down,
Yeah,
keep
that's-
working.
Head down. Keep
Indeed.
working.
And that's it.
There you go.
That's it.
There you go. Well, thanks guys for joining us for
Appreciate
episode
you
9.
coming out, man.
Appreciate you
Appreciate you
coming
having
out,
me,
dude.
man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Who asked?
Who asked?
Who asked?
Who asked?